Hello there, everyone, and welcome to our post-match FA Cup reaction of the Man United 1, West Ham United 0 game that has just gone on the BBC. I'm joined by Jamie and Migg. James, how are we doing, fellas?
Yeah, good, thanks. Well,
I'm ready for bed.
good as I can be.
It's a late one, but so it'll only be about half our reaction. If anyone's joining us, thank you for joining. If you want to leave any comments, please do. We'll get straight to it. This isn't going to be like our normal podcast. Just a quick reaction, and we'll come back. Jamie, let's go with you first. I know me and you have had a few rows before the game today, and we've got similar sort of reactions to how it was. But just the reaction of the game itself.
Boring as hell, weren't it? It was a terrible game of football. Like, it's up there as one of the worst games. I think that's the worst game I've watched this season. It was poor. The whole setup, the first half was diabolical, like what we set up to do. And when we were forced into making changes, we actually looked like we could do something. It screamed out that the second they scored, we weren't going to get anything, did it? It was not good. And it shows the lack of depth we have, the real lack of depth we have. But that's my quick thoughts. I'll let others get on to it. James,
quick thoughts?
Quite frustrating at times. Sometimes I found like that it's quite a hard one because we didn't really test them at all, did we? I think, Jamie, you posted the statistics, didn't you? It was like ridiculous amount of or lack of shots on goal. And the
Dawson chance apart.
Yeah, nothing really going forward was there. It was frustrating. I wouldn't say it was as bad as the Fulham game. I thought the Fulham game was a little bit worse than that for me. Because I felt, at least in this game, I felt that we defended well. I thought when we played Fulham, we were unlucky not to lose that game. Whereas today, I feel like we've done a good job at holding them quite well. We just had nothing at the other end of the pitch, and it was just really frustrating. I feel sorry for the young kid coming on. He just put himself about, but just wasn't getting the ball at all, was he?
Yeah, we'll discuss him a bit more in a little while. Migg, what's your thoughts on what we've just witnessed?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we all had our thoughts about the starting lineup, who should and shouldn't have played, mainly Jamie. But I think from the way the game went, like, we had no right to be in that game for anywhere near as long as we were.
We've got a little bit of a delay with me, which is not great. So we'll come back to Matt. My thoughts on the game, pretty similar to you guys. Team selection really let us down there, and the lack of squad depth is letting us down in big games at the moment. Obviously, no Antonio. It causes our team so many problems without him up front. There's no hold up play. We offer nothing. We don't. When we're without Antonio, the boys that are our real attacking threat cannot get out, and they cannot come up and join that attacking play, and it just kills us. And you've got to give Moyes some stick for that one, not adding depth there. In January, he was offered the chance to get depth, and he didn't get it. Team selection again. There's been a couple of real bad team selections in the last couple of months, and there's only a couple when I can't give him too much stick, but that was a bad team selection, and we just offered nothing.
Quick question for you.
Yes.
Do you reckon this is the first time that two substitutes have come on and been substituted off in the same game?
I doubt it. I'd imagine it would happen somewhere.
I doubt it because that would take 4 substitutions, which normally you can't have.
Yeah.
Wait. Did you say 2?
Yeah.
Diop and Meepo.
Yeah. Yeah, you put it bang on.
Never happened before.
No.
So we've at least broken one record.
Yeah, yeah. So we're gonna discuss the team selection, David Moyes as a whole. Why did he go so defensive again?
I think my biggest issue with it was this, for me, was our biggest game of the season. No matter what. I would rather have us put... people disagree with me here, but I would rather have seen Antonio not playing against Fulham if it meant he was targeting this game. And people sit there and go, but then, man, to set up for him. And I'm like, Most teams have known how to set up against Antonio all season. He's the only decent striker we've had. If we lost to Fulham and it meant we gave Man U a game, I wouldn't have minded. It's just a cup run is all I've seen West Ham fans, myself included, saying we want. And if we're not putting out our best team, doesn't that scream that they're not taking it serious?
Yeah, even the commentator at one point said, why wasn't Ben Rama on sooner? The difference
I also think this game was there to be taken. If Harry Maguire's winning man of the match at the end of the game when we did fuck all, that game's there to be had. I don't know if you agree.
I think that the recent league form has really killed Moyes here today, because we're currently 6th in the league. If we'd have been 9th, he probably would have looked at Fulham and gone, it don't matter so much. We're in 9th. Let's go all out for United. But when you're in 5th place on Saturday against Fulham, you're like, 3 points here, we go above Liverpool. Do you want to put out a weakened side, or do you want to go and win the game, then see what happens from there? Cheers, Clarky. But you go from there, like that's why. And I think Benrahma and Lanzini, obviously we know Lingard, obviously cup tied and can't play because of Milan, kills us a little bit. But he's obviously looking. The boys are tired from Saturday. You can see it with Rice and Zucek. They were knackered tonight again, playing 90 minutes.
Hasn't Rice played 90 minutes in basically
every second of every game this year, I believe?
I think it was one of the first games in the FA Cup.
And the Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think that really showed, though, that they had changes that changed the game in the centre of midfield.
Yeah.
Like McTominay and Fernandes can come on, whereas we had the same 3 central midfielders for 120 minutes, and that's going to take its toll.
And when you've got two lads in there that have played countless minutes recently, plus Noble, who's plus 30, his legs are gone now. But I tell you what, mate, you say he can't run. He was fantastic tonight. He was fantastic. Like, he was fantastic tonight. He was. He got himself about in the first half. He put in a lot of blocks. He was the one that put us out on a couple of breaks. He kept going. There's nothing to fault him for tonight. And if that's you having an agenda against him.
He was not fantastic.
I thought Noble played really well tonight. I did not expect that performance out of him at all.
I will stick to this. I don't think Noble was bad tonight. I don't actually think no. Noble wasn't bad tonight, but he was not fantastic. And I still he wasn't fantastic, because fantastic is like an 8 out of 10 performance. He wasn't. He was serviceable. He surpassed our expectations, but our expectations are fairly low. And I don't think.
Yeah, like I would say at the start of the game, if the start of the if he'd have played like that and you'd have known he was going to play like that at the start of the game, you wouldn't have moaned about him playing necessarily.
He would have, because he's got an agenda against him.
I don't think he was fantastic.
It's ridiculous every time.
He weren't bad.
He could not have done much more today, and you're like, no, he weren't that good.
We didn't have any fantastic players on the pitch today.
Craig Dawson was our best player.
Dawson, I'll give him that. Yeah.
For Noble standard right now, he was fantastic. For Noble standards, and we've got to expect him. We've got to expect him to play when he's playing. He plays like that. He's brilliant. Declan was fantastic again. He was. Agenda, mate. I'm going to move on before I really get young.
They are words you use when people run the game. They did not run the game. My God.
Migg, should Benrahma have come on earlier?
In hindsight, probably yes, but it's easy to say that. But I think at the time it made sense to. If you're 0-0 away at Old Trafford, do you want to sort of roll the dice and gamble on it? He looked pretty good when he came on. Fornals was fairly poor today overall, so I think in hindsight, yes, but easier said than done.
Can I just reply to this quickly? He was not bad, but to say he's fantastic or brilliant, I think you've got to be looking at someone in the centre midfield position who is dominating the game. And at no point did we dominate.
But we weren't. We dominated at any point.
He was
never going to dominate the game. No,
he was serviceable. I'm sorry, he should not have played. He was not what we needed.
I agree with you, but when he played, it was brilliant.
He was okay. He was okay.
Right, I'm going to move on because I'm really going to lose my rag in a minute with this.
You're
James.
only supporting him because he's Mark Noble.
James, thoughts on Ben Rama?
I thought he was brilliant when he came on. I can't really fault his performance. I thought he made an impact straight away. We looked like we was going to actually create and do something. Even the commentator said that. Like, why was he not brought on sooner? I think I did have a worry at half time that Moyes was going to make a change, but a reactionary one, and it would have been too late. I think we could have gone for another half an hour. We might not have scored, if I'm honest. We didn't look like we was going to get near the gut. I think we just brought on a bit too late, really. Could have done with him earlier, but I think it's hard to be in Moyes' situation because our squad isn't as good as United's. So, and we haven't got them sort of players at the same disposal as they have. So he's kind of thinking, right, I need to get the most I can out of these players, knowing that, when we play, who we got next door in the league?
Sheffield United.
Sheffield United.
In 6 days time though, isn't it?
Monday night, yeah.
Yes.
So we've got a bit of time, get them all rested up, and then we can have even fresher legs for that match. So I kind of get it, but at the same time, it's quite frustrating to watch when you can almost see the carrot dangling,
Question: do you think Moyes once again showed he wasn't tactically inept, but inept in making the right subs by not bringing Lanzini on quick enough? Obviously, Ben Rama was a late sub. You had these attacking players on the bench. Maybe Ben Rama instead of Odebeko first off. When you go 1-0 down, could we have got Lanzini on quicker? Is that Moyes just showing his old colours and not doing the right thing quick enough? Could he have maybe, at the point where you're 1-0 down, throw Zucek up front because we're pumping balls up there still and he's still going to nowhere? Is that just Moyes showing lack of what he does?
Moyes had one idea tonight. That's all he wanted. He set up for the 0-0, let's be honest. You can't tell me that you looked at that team and what we did, that at no point he was thinking we're going to try and play. I
haven't asked you about the team from the start. I'm saying
no. But even the way we lined up, I think he got the team wrong, and I think the subs he made. I actually think Ben Johnson, when he came on, was our best player. The second Ben Johnson came on, he was our best player with Craig Dawson. He was
not seen Ben Johnson since the Everton game because he was good against Everton.
He was a threat. He was actually a real threat. I thought Ben Johnson was superb tonight.
Especially in that first 10 minutes of the second half.
Yeah, he really changed the game. But
it shows we could play that.
Moyes got it wrong.
5-2 with Johnson instead of Masuaku, I think, out there. I think you could
do you know what, though? What a difference this year has been, though, so far. Like, who would have thought at the start of the year that we'd be, as much as it weren't the performance we all could have dreamed of, that we'd be competing for a quarter-final place against Man United and still putting in that performance and being 5th or 6th in the league. Like, it's such... We've gone from being tosh to actually being a respectable team this year, and it's such a big gap. And I just don't want our fan base... As much as, obviously, we all agree on tonight's performance is quite frustrating, that we don't want to get ahead of ourselves, and our squad is running thin, and that tonight proved how much we did need a striker.
It says it all that we've just lost 1-0 at Old Trafford after extra time, and we're all annoyed.
Yeah,
I think the thing is, I think you've got to put it in perspective as well. Like, for the second half of that game, we had 4 fullbacks on the pitch. We had one fit centre half on the pitch, and it took them bringing on Fernandes and McTominay, their first choice centre halves. They had to bring Cavani on. They had to really throw everything at us at the end. And if you'd have said that to us at the start of the season, we'd have probably laughed at you.
Yeah, I want to go while we're saying that. Just a quick segue into Craig Dawson. Unbelievable again tonight.
Especially when Ogbonna goes off.
For me, man of the match.
Yeah. I actually think when Ogbonna went off, Diop, while he was on, didn't put a foot wrong. Looked strong.
Yeah,
looked up for it. And then obviously that concussion, so it's the right thing to do with the concussion protocols and concussion subs. But Dawson at centre half, with again Cresswell, who's only played their limitly, and Kufo hasn't played at that right centre half position yet. Dawson was unbelievable.
He's a bit of a leader. I think it's a no-brainer sign. Since he's come in, he's just changed the whole mentality of that defence. Like, I know James joked about it, that we were prone to conceding. But since...
At the time, weren't we?
No, it's true. But since he's come in, it's basically been since that comment he's come in, and he's just... It's set. That defence is set. And he's been brilliant. He's been absolutely brilliant. I'm going to make a quick comment now. There's massive pressure. Does anyone think there's now massive pressure on the Sheffield United game? Because we've got two full games and extra time without a shot on target. I now think we need to beat Sheffield United. Otherwise,
I don't think there's any pressure on the rest of the year now. The boys go in fantastic, but right now we're overachieving in the league. All right, we've just been knocked out in the cup and we're all gutted, but we're still we're an overachieving side right now.
Yeah, but the standards have been set, and discontent will set in if it slips. And you'll be the first one to be on Moyes' if we lose 2 in a row.
The boys right now, we've been so proud of them all year, and again proud of them tonight for their performance. Like their battle tonight for 120 minutes when they're knackered. If they go out and lose, again, if they put the effort in like that tonight and lose, what can you say?
I think it's more now, you see with kind of, they prioritised, I'm going to say they prioritised the Fulham game ahead of this, it came across as. If people...
earlier, we weren't 5th in the league, I don't think they'd have done it.
Probably agree with you there. But the second you kind of give off that message, it sends to you that you need to probably go win your next league game if you're going to be losing this cup game. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Especially when you're playing bottom of the league.
The only good thing coming now is it stops...
you haven't got a midweek game till May
in a week now. So you go back to 1 per week. You can manage Antonio a little bit better. Now we play Monday, Sunday, and then I think it's Sunday again, I believe. Yeah. So you can really manage your players now. Hopefully, say after Sheffield United, we've got a tough run of games coming up, and we've got 2 points against top 6 sides this year. So we're actually going to quite a tough battle now. And you're probably right, Sheffield United becomes quite a big pressure game because you could potentially go again 5-6 games with no points.
The thing is, they've got a lot to play for as well, ain't they?
Yeah, and everyone got better recently.
If we had got a result tonight and we lose to Sheffield United, no fans care. No fans will give a damn because you're into the quarter-final. I think they would, but I think a lot of them would go, we've come through 120 minutes against Man U. We can take 1 loss to Sheffield United if you have to take one of the other. But it now does it does put pressure on it, I think. And I've got a sneaky feeling Sheffield United get a result because they've really improved recently. And look, 120 minutes of football is going to have an effect on this team with how small we are.
It's just lucky it's not Saturday, and it's Monday. If it was a Saturday kickoff, I think we'd be in dire problems. But Monday gives us a couple of days just to recover.
Yeah, I think Sheffield United would be knowing that we're quite tired and fatigued. They'll be well up for that game. Yeah,
so a couple of extra days would be nice. Just a quick chat on the youngster, Mipo Odebaku. He was on to a losing battle tonight. We come on against 2 good centre halves. We had no forward play whatsoever. You can't criticise the lad. He tried to get in amongst it. He's only 18. It was men against boys from out there tonight. I'm gutted he got subbed because maybe in a situation where Ben Rama was a striker, I might have put that in. All right, he was offside, but gutted for the lad, and I hope his confidence doesn't take a big hit tonight.
Yeah, he wasn't any good. But there's no pressure. I'm not going to judge him on tonight.
He was still better than Yarmolenko. Oh, God, he was bad first half.
I think Yarmolenko probably moved about a little bit more, but neither did anything. I'll put that into the group. He was rapping. He's like, give me the ball. And everyone's like, mate, you're about 8 yards off. The thing for me is like I'm in a group chat with my uncle and my dad. And my uncle thought we weren't great, and I guess when you're an outsider looking in, you don't consider maybe he's a youngster. He's a youngster. He's coming in. Tonight weren't a game that's going to sum up his career. It's a game to make yourself a hero. It's now time to bed him in. Give him minutes of the next 16 league games or whatever it is.
I've actually just read a message. I'm in a group chat with my dad and Lee Thomas, Gary Thomas. My dad's put something like, he's had all these chances in the last sort of 6-7 games to give him 20 minutes. Tom Brady, mate, all the way.
Get rid of him, James. Get rid of him.
He's had chances for a month, bit longer, to give him 20 minutes, like bed him into this side. As we said in the podcast last week, when Antonio's struggling against Fulham, get him on. We might have had Antonio fit tonight that way. Get him on 20 minutes, and he brings him on now against 2 high quality centre halves and a high quality side.
Yeah,
he was on. It was a losing battle, mate. And I'm hoping he doesn't put his head down. And Moyes has got to get him back in that side pretty quick to show the confidence. In him. Any more players you want to talk on of tonight's game?
I would like to compliment. I know we probably have briefly brushed over the defenders. I think they've all been quite solid tonight, and they did play really well. Dawson, obviously, like you said, Daryl was outstanding tonight. But I like that they changed to obviously a back five, didn't they? Almost a 3 and 2 wing backs, and they adjusted very, very quickly and very well. I thought. I thought it's been a while, wasn't it, since they played that formation? So I thought it might sort of catch them out a little bit, but they did adapt really quick, and that's a good thing. Got to take that as a positive.
We were saying it a little while back about that formation. I think we offer more going forward in that formation. We seem to be a lot more dangerous with two wide players coming from deep, and then you've got your likes of Fornals, Ben Rama in like sort of that inside forward position. Obviously, only had one of them today because he's still playing 3 centre mids. But I think we do seem to be a lot more creative when we can throw the ball wide to 2 players from deep. So, look.
Can we just say Bowen got dragged off again, and it's disappointing because
what could he do today?
Yeah, I guess I don't actually think he done much wrong. But
the one time he got the ball.
The more I look at it and I go, he weren't bad, but Fredericks offered more when he came on.
But for a totally different position.
But they're still right.
Yeah, but he was playing from deeper. Bowen was in that attacking role. He just weren't getting it up from deeper. He could go forward more. He got the ball from deeper and he could run from deeper. I don't think Bowen done anything bad. I think great.
Do you think Bowen, obviously I know he's lacking a bit of confidence, but do you think it's been since the formation change?
No.
When he played well?
He played well against Chelsea, played well against Everton. All right, Everton was in that formation, but I
do think the 5 at the back suits him better than the 4. I will say that. It's
because he plays as an inside striker, sort of, doesn't he? He plays as that sort of... You play the 3 wide, 2 midfielders, two inside strikers and a forward. So he's a bit more. He can be a bit more direct because you've got someone wide of him. But hopefully, obviously, Masuaku is probably a month away, and we might see a bit more of Bowen in that formation.
He's running again, ain't he? Yeah. So
anything you want to discuss now? I think that's probably it for now. I think you can all tell we're pretty gutted on the result. I have no idea who that is.
Steve, 100%.
Excellent. We're all pretty gutted. Hopefully the boys go out and get a great result on Monday. We've had a fantastic season. I'd love to give Moyes more jip, and I'm sure I will on the podcast this week, which we'll be recording probably Thursday. For those people that are still on here and that will listen, we've got potentially a big guest coming on next Wednesday night. Is that right, Migg?
Correct, Amundo.
Yeah, I won't tell you it is yet. I'll let that news come out on the podcast this week. Cheers, boys. Again, we're all gutted, but what can you do?
Yeah, we've got to move on, haven't we? Look forward to Monday next week, and
It's not
When
often
we lose to Sheffield.
it's not often this year we've come out of 2 games and we've been disappointed, and that's 2 games in a row. Hopefully they've just got to bounce back now. So and that comes down to Moyes' team selection and then going forward. So
we still haven't lost back-to-back games since the opening 2 weeks of the season. So
no, and you can't complain. Right, cheers, guys. Last thing to say is come on your irons.
Come on your irons.
On your irons.